5 life-saving charms parents should give their children before they turn 18. In recent years, I've come to realize a simple yet profound truth. The most valuable gift parents can give their children is not money, but character. The most valuable insurance isn't kept in a safe, but rather in one's soul. I used to be the type of parent who wanted to provide everything for my child. A good school, nutritious meals, extra language lessons, and health and education insurance. But one day I saw my child crying over something small at school, just because a friend criticized their drawing. At that moment, I suddenly realized my child had everything, yet lacked mental resilience. From then on, I began paying more attention to what I call invisible insurance, the qualities that parents instill in their children every day, but that no one sells. After years of learning, stumbling, and growing, I came up with 5 good luck charms that every child should have before turning 18. 1. The ability to learn independently and solve problems. In the past, when my child asked me a question, I answered right away. When they spilled water, I ran to wipe it up. When they forgot something, I brought it to school. I thought I was helping, but I was actually robbing them of the opportunity to learn to stand on their own. Now it's different. When my child encounters a problem, I ask, "How do you think we can solve this?" If our solution doesn't work, I ask, "What can you learn from this experience?" At first, my child was a little flustered, but gradually they learned how to find the answer themselves. I see their eyes light up when they figure things out on their own. That's when the seed of perseverance begins to take root. 2. A moral compass and core values. I realize that teaching obedience is not difficult. However, teaching children to have their own opinions and self-esteem is a lifelong journey. If parents don't teach their children the difference between right and wrong, the outside world will teach them through painful experiences. I strive to be honest with my child, even about small things. I apologize when I lose my temper. I tell my child that every action has a cause and an effect, not in a spiritual sense, but as a universal truth. When children understand that what goes around comes around, they learn to live more responsibly. 3. How to befriend negative emotions. Once my child received a low score. He sat alone sobbing. Instead of saying, "What's there to cry about?" I sat down beside him and said, "I know you're sad. Go ahead and cry, and then we'll talk later." After that, we sat quietly together and focused on our breathing. It wasn't advanced meditation, just a simple way to help him calm down. I realized that when parents validate their children's emotions, children naturally learn to accept sadness and fear. This kind of emotional resilience isn't taught in school. 4. Listening and understanding skills. I used to think that talking to my child was important. Later, I learned that what they needed most was for me to listen. So I practiced listening without judgment. When my child talks about friends, I don't rush to give advice. Instead, I ask, "How do you feel about that?" Gradually, my child also learned to listen. To me, to their friends, to life itself. People who know how to listen build stronger relationships. And those relationships can become the most solid emotional safety net in life. Heartfelt, gratitude and humility. I teach my child to say thank you sincerely, not out of politeness, but to express genuine gratitude. Before eating, my child says, "Thank you to the person who cooked, the person who grew the vegetables, and the person who made the rice." Before bed, we share one question. "What are you most grateful for today?" Sometimes we visit an orphanage or a nursing home, so my child can touch the lives of others. I don't teach with theory. I just want my child to understand the human heart, to grow up humble, kind, and willing to share what they have. Conclusion. I realize that for my child to embody these 5 charms, I must embody them first. You cannot teach your child patience if you are always angry. You cannot teach your child peace if you are troubled yourself. You cannot teach your child gratitude if you are always complaining. To provide invisible insurance for our children, we must first take care of our own minds. When parents have the right perspective, one that is peaceful and clear, all their words and actions become living lessons for their children. There are things that aren't included in tuition fees, but they determine a person's entire future. If you are a parent, start sowing those seeds day by day in small ways. And soon you'll see a miracle sprout in your child's eyes.